Thanks, Emily. All right. Did you guys see my dab in the intro? My kids taught me that. They try to keep me cool. My vocabulary ever expands. Like I know words like sus and cracked. Have you guys heard cracked yet? My daughter walked in the kitchen the other day. She's like, it's cracked. I was like, man, you freaking cracked your iPad again, like the screen? She's like, no, Dad, cracked means cool. I was like, what? So in that theme, Jamie, that was cracked, man. All right? All right, that was the cool part of the day. In a minute, we have the fun part of the day, the quiz and prizes. I'm like this lull in the middle, okay? So bear with me here. You guys remember David Letterman? Anybody? I used to, at my grandmother's house, like I'd go there on the weekends. She'd let us stay up late. We would watch Letterman Top 10. It was a staple. So I'm telling you a little bit about Wilmac today. I thought I'd do a play on Letterman, make it a little fun. This is the top 5 things you should know about Wilmac, all right? Number 5, we are Rochester-based and community-focused. So we've been headquartered in Rochester since the 1950s, as Emily said. We're big here in Rochester. We're a resource right in town. Please use us if you want to. And we're deeply committed to the community. So we do things like the Pirate Toy Drive. We collect meals and distribute them to those in need around Thanksgiving. We do school supply collections and give them out. We do a lot of fundraiser and donations to cancer research around here, like the Pluto Cancer Center. 1330, if you guys haven't heard of it, is an awesome organization. They help kind of like the forgotten ones that have cancer, the adolescents to young adults, the guys that typically don't have it, like young kids get a ton of focus, older people get a ton of focus. This adolescent group tends to get left behind, so they're a really cool organization. For the last almost 25 years, we were on 73 State Street, and literally Monday of this week, we moved into the 5-star building downtown. So when we looked at moving our office location and building out something new, it was very important to our leadership and our owner and CEO, Steve McDonald, to stay centered in Rochester and a part of the community. All right? Number 4, we evolve with time and technology. We are a technology company that's been around since the 50s. If you don't evolve with the times and technology, you're not going to be around, right? You guys can, I'm sure, pick lots of different examples of that. But just a quick history lesson. Founded in the 50s, we started with dictation equipment. So we've been around data capture and voice recording for many, many, many years. We got into court recording. So think about that, that's a 4-channel recording solution. You've got prosecution, defense, judge, and witness, okay? That led us into, probably in the early 90s, getting into WFO and WEM solutions. And for many years, we resold, we implemented service and support a lot of this stuff. It got us into voice recording. So we resold and implemented things like NICE, Verint, Calabrio, Redbox. And through that, we did a lot in financial compliance, think investment banking, trading floors. We did a lot of the recording of that. Did a lot of recording around public safety. So when you talk about 911 call centers, we've been doing that for years. And from there, all of that, being multi-vendor and implementing all that, we saw common problems that our customers had. And that was when they moved from one voice recording solution to another. You had all of this legacy voice data that typically was in a proprietary or encrypted format that you either had to keep the solution or to extract it, it was costly. So we developed our own software, I'll talk about in a little bit, called Continuity Replay in 2015. So we have our own IP. That's what kind of makes us unique in this space as well. And then, as we were in this contact center voice recording world, it's been a natural evolution and transition for us to get into CCAS and CX solutions, okay? So this is an area that we're heavily focused on, and Continuity Replay even has now evolved into an enterprise information archiving solution. We'll talk about that in a minute. Headquartered in Rochester. Through the years, we also opened up offices in New York and Toronto. We've got an office right near Penn Station, which is super convenient, and then we've got our office in Toronto is actually out by the airport. It's like Mississauga area. All right. Number 3. This one's important. We are multi-vendor and vendor neutral. So like I said, we're partnered with all of the major players out here around contact center and customer experience. We implement, service, and support all of them. We resell all of them. And what that gives us is a unique objective and fact-based view. So when we start to work with clients, what we bring to the table is we're able to sit on your side of the table. You guys know all technology solutions and partners and vendors out there are not created equal. So we come at it with a lens where we can sit on your side of the table and kind of take you behind the curtain, so to speak, and let you know where these vendors excel, where their gaps and weaknesses are, what they're trying to pitch, how they pitch it, what solutions are really enterprise class and fully scaled, and what solutions are cobbling things together to kind of make it seem that way. So as a resource right here in Rochester, leverage us. If you're looking at new technology around customer experience or contact center, just give us a call. We're just happy to share wisdom and knowledge around this. All right, you see I put the Five9 logo big and present up here. It's on purpose. Like I said, not all partners are created equal either, right? For us, Five9's super easy to work with. Their tech stack is awesome. And when we talk about CCaaS and CX, they're one of the leading vendors that we recommend, which is why we have them in the room today versus some of these other vendors. Make sense? Okay. Number 2, we have our own software, our own IP. It's called Continuity Replay, and it's really centered around data. Historically, it was voice data. Now it's become all interaction data, talk, text, chat. We're getting into video, all of that. So like you guys have heard the saying, data is gold, right? We're in the age of data is gold. Like it's already cliche, that saying, so to speak, and Matthew McConaughey completely killed it with his Salesforce ads, if you guys have seen that. Have you guys seen those? He's like, oh, if AI is the Wild West, then is data the new gold, right? Like, so cheesy. Anyway, with Continuity Replay, it's an enterprise information archiving solution. So where it was born in the top left. You have your voice recordings from a vendor, you're moving to a new vendor, or you're taking your on-prem to the cloud. Now you have these proprietary voice recordings that are in the vendor's format, or they're encrypted, and now you either need to pay to keep that solution while you have a new one, or if you extract them, it's super expensive. Once you extract them, they're typically in a file dump that you can't search and replay with. So Continuity Replay does all of that. We have the ability at a much lower cost than these vendors to extract that historical data, convert it, decrypt it, it gets pumped into OpenWave, and then look, that's your data, right? So do with it as you please. It's your data, you should have it, you should store it where you want to, and if you need to use it for search and replay, you should be able to, all right? That's where Continuity Replay was born. It has turned from just voice recording to pulling in chat and text and video, so basically all customer interaction. And it's now at the point where, let's say you move from one vendor to another, we can take your legacy data, interaction data, and then now you have a new production system. We can pull that new production system data and marry everything behind one pane of glass for regulatory, compliance, search and replay, you name it. Solution works very well in heavily regulated industries that have either regulation or compliance around retention time. So if you have to store this customer interaction data for 7, 5, 10 years, whatever it is, data can be stored in the cloud. You have access to it. Any questions on this? Pretty straightforward. All right. Number 1, why would you work with somebody like Wilmac? Maybe you see it in the event that we've put together today, but like we've prided ourselves for the last 30 plus years in this data archiving space on providing an elevated level of service than you would get from like a major vendor. So we approach everything with white glove service. You guys ever have issues, you call someone like me, you call someone like Charlie, you call our Director of Delivery and Implementation, Christina, and we're right here in Rochester. We literally can be to any of you within 20 minutes. You guys know this being here in Rochester, or Buffalo and 50, Tony, or 45, depending on how you drive on the thruway, right? So white glove service, and look, we love to have fun. You guys see me kind of poke fun at myself and other things as I'm up here presenting, but we love to have fun. Conference that Emily and I and Christina did, baseball games, Enterprise Connect. Anybody ever been to Enterprise Connect? It was a pretty cool show that we did. Axe throwing, dinners. We love to celebrate success too. When you guys win, we win. We love to celebrate it, right? Except for Jim. Jim's a Bills fan. He's pretty angry at the Patriot. We had to go to Boston for a show one day, and it looks like you're going to punch that guy, Jim. All right. Look, with that, the event ends at 10. We got the quiz coming up very quickly. We do have the room past 10 if anybody wants to chat or ask questions, that kind of thing. I just want to thank you all for coming. Really awesome that you took some time out of the day to spend with us. Hopefully this event was worthwhile. If I don't get to chat with you, I will be following up just to gather some feedback on what went well today, what didn't go well, where can we improve and do better when we do these things, because being active in Rochester, we want to do more of this, and more of this with folks like you, different topics, things like that. So just real spot check real quick on this morning's conversation with Jamie and Emily. Quick thumbs up, medium, thumbs down. How'd we do? All right, cool. Looks good. All right. Thanks, everybody.